Hey guys, Drew here with Nine Leadership. If you're wondering why I'm on the floor today, you'll find out very shortly. We're interviewing Dr. Justin Klein, chiropractor and owner of Got Your Back and the Got Your Back Foundation. He's going to talk a little bit today about movement and why it's important to keep moving during the coronavirus situation. So stand by and we'll see you guys soon. And there's going to be a cameo you guys will see of a very special friend of mine who refuses to not cameo my videos. See you guys soon. Hope you enjoy the video. Justin Klein, thanks for joining us, man.
Thanks for having me.
Different environment here today because you got some stuff to talk to us about today. So tell us more about that. Tell us more about you first, actually.
Well, my name's Dr. Justin Klein. You can follow me at Dr. Justin Klein on Instagram. I'm a chiropractic physician in the District of Columbia. I'm on the board of chiropractic in the district. My background, I grew up in the area. I'm a Washingtonian, born and raised, and went to the University of Maryland, studied pre-med for a couple of years, and then decided to switch over as a kinesiology major. So I studied a lot of exercise science, movement-based stuff, human health and human performance type of stuff. Was a personal trainer in 2002, was a trainer through grad school. And my background really and my expertise and theory and understanding in health and wellness is that movement is medicine. So I really come from a background of being a former athlete. I was a wrestler, soccer player, baseball player, just all the time playing sports, had plenty of injuries, ended up with, plenty of things to deal with over my years and having to work on them and also work on patients at the same time. I've come up with some really interesting physically therapeutic movement systems that are really productive.
Yeah.
That's just my background being from here. I love the DC area. I've got a foundation as well. I'm the owner of the founder of the Got Your Back Foundation, where we do all kinds of things from chiropractic to nutritional programs at schools and organizations that are looking for that type of information. Trying to really spread the word on what chiropractic is, the benefits of getting adjusted and dealing with a doctor of chiropractic as opposed to maybe a medical professional or a surgeon. So I just always found the nervous system very, very interesting. It's really why I changed my major. I mentioned that, back in the day, being at the University of Maryland that didn't offer anatomy as a prerequisite to get a pre-med degree, which didn't really make sense to me. It was a little bit ironic. So that was why kinesiology was my choice, and studying up on the nervous system gave me more lead into what I wanted to do for my career, because orthopedic medicine and physical therapy were some great options, but chiropractic focuses on understanding the nervous system and the energy that flows from your brain and back to your brain and the feedback loops and things that are happening in the body. So it's just, to me, it's a better way of understanding optimal wellness and health. And it's really why I do what I do, and I love to teach it, because a lot of people don't know how simple some of it is.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, man. I love that you talked about the energy and stuff like that, because it's huge. I mean, most of what we both do is around energy. Yours is more about the physical energy, and mine kind of combines a little bit of that, but it's more about the the emotional, mental energy. And
Well, and that's the thing about it, is that physical and emotional energies are parallel.
Yep.
That's actually where all this comes together. I mean, if you're physically at here, you're emotionally going to be up there too, or that same place, right? But if you're physically able to do a whole lot more, then your emotional capacity, can be a little bit more as well. You can also use that as a, just an understanding of how to take care of yourself. Like if you're really, really stressed out at whatever level, just kind of understand the physical level you've been moving in, right? And then change it accordingly. Kind of, should affect both aspects of that.
Oh, it's great reminder, man, because I think a lot of folks don't make that connection, And
Yeah.
So tell us more about some considerations people can have nowadays. A lot of folks are working from home now, remote working. They're not really moving around as much as they normally do. So what are some changes of that, and how do they avoid it?
That's a great question. Most people are kind of cooped up like this, right? I don't know how many of you watching this right now have been moving your bodies a little bit more or less lately, but a lot of us are sticking on screen time all day long, sitting in terrible postures. So if you notice that Drew and I are actually laying on our tummies like this, it may not even be comfortable for you initially. It might take a little bit of time to get comfortable like this, but just keep in mind, I do this all day, every day. So I wouldn't expect it to be really comfortable for many of you out there. Even you, Drew, right now, we've been here for maybe 3 minutes. You're probably struggling already, right? Starting to feel it. And we'll talk about some of these things, but most of us really just give in to our posture. We let our posture kind of take over, especially when we're sitting all day. You're rounding your back and letting everything just kind of use itself to structurally kind of hold you up. And what you don't realize is that the spine isn't designed that way. All right. And so we need to get it into a better, more erect or, spinal structurally sound position, an ideal curvature, if you will. And many of us aren't going to be able to reach that perfect curve, right? But some of this physical therapy or these physically therapeutic movements are going to be really effective at helping to get your head up over your spine a little bit more, right? So tummy time, just breathe, right? Just spend some time on your tummy, put your computers out here, your phones right here, right? Put it right out in front of you. Spend 2 minutes every few hours like that, and you'll see how productive that is, at cleaning up some of the little issues that you're causing. That's a short answer to that question, but there's a couple others, and we'll show you a couple of these moves in a few. Just don't let yourself be so cooped up. Like, look at how beautiful it is outside. Like, the sun is gorgeous, right? There's really no reason to just sit all day long when you really can get up, get some of that vitamin D, move your body a little bit, cross midline, right? You're walking, you're getting both hemispheres in your brain working when you do that kind of thing. Those are more movements and positions, but I would even break it down further and say, put your tongue on the roof of your mouth, breathe into your belly, just relax, lay on your tummy, lay on your back once in a while, right? Because this is something I tell every patient, right? If you're laying flat like this, you're potentially in perfect posture, right? Just 90 degrees away from perfect posture, right? And if we're sitting there flexed over all day long, then we're not actually allowing our body to relax in a neutral or normal or ideal type of position. So it can be very stressful just to sit, and be on all these phone calls all day long, right? People are on a lot more calls. They're, in a lot of restricted positions. So we need to de-restrict and stabilize, right? Think about that word too, stabilize, right? We need to stabilize the body physically, but also emotionally right now, right? So if you can't emotionally appreciate or approach the problem right now, because everybody's under this blanketed amount of stress in the moment, do something physical to combat that, right? Just while breathing and being mindful, and give you a couple little tricks here in a moment.
Yeah, that sounds great. So what are some of the common things people are seeing people are dealing with that you're seeing a lot of nowadays with all the bad posture and that kind of stuff? Well, what are some effects of it?
On a regular basis, I see patients with all kinds of pain, from headaches to neck pain to back pain. Last week, we had a hamstring tear where a lady just had a slip and fall and did the splits for the first time in 30 years. We are actually, Got Your Back is a regenerative and integrated medical center. So that means we're integrated. So we have nurse practitioners, medical practitioners, and chiropractic doctors who are also all getting together on a treatment plan for each individual patient. And then as well as that, we also have the ability to use stem cells and regenerative medicine therapies. So if you have ligaments that are torn, if you've got cartilage that's worn out in the knees, if you've got pain in muscles, tendons, ligaments, and all kinds of tissues, the regenerative medicine is amazing for that. And through the Got Your Back Foundation, we have programs that make those out-of-pocket costs partially tax deductible. So, we see patients of all physical, medical type of needs. But right now, we're seeing more of the emergencies that are, dealing with, post-traumatic stress type of things, where patients really can't can't really take care of themselves right now and need their accountability partners there to help them out.
Yeah.
We're seeing a significant amount less patients right now. So we are in the office, essential, but we're considering ourselves semi-quarantined, going home. We're seeing about a third of the patient load that we were before, and everybody that we see is quarantined for themselves. We're doing what we can to keep this place as clean, virus-free as possible. And we're all wearing masks. Mine's over there on the windowsill, and gloves, and we're, just taking care of everything we can. I think that most people right now, aside from the sort of blanket amount of stress and maybe dealing with a couple more headaches than they would on a regular basis, or their back's aching a little more because they're sitting. I don't know if you know this, guys out there, but when you sit, you put 2.5 times the gravitational pressure on your lumbar discs. That causes a lot of problems. So that's why standing and then allowing your lower back to have this kind of healthier curve in there is a good idea. And you don't have to do it all day long. Like this, laying here, for too long can cause some issues for some people. But if it's something that's a little bit unique and different that you haven't done in a while, maybe it's a good thing. Just give it a little time, right? You haven't done bicep curls in 3 months. They're going to suck after the first time you do it. Your arms are going to suck. They're going to hurt, right? So, just really what we do is just really stay proactive for people, stay mindful and stay open, an accountability partner for our patients. And we're setting up telemedicine. So, anybody who, doesn't want to come in here, I can have that conversation with those patients over the phone, just like we are right now. And that's brilliant. That's been super, super helpful. We've even got a system that we're setting up right now that's direct through our website. You don't even have to use Zoom. You set up your appointment online. I'm on there waiting for you at the time that you made the appointment for. Just make sure you show up so you don't get cancellation fees. Want to be on the other end here. I'm here in my office, wide open, and empty on Tuesdays and Thursdays, just hanging out, just share the space visually with you guys. So I just want to get everybody off their butts while they're stuck at home quarantined.
Yeah, that's great, man. So before we get into some exercises, you mentioned something when we talked yesterday about foam rolling. I really think it's important to share.
Okay, so foam rolling. Everybody out there probably owns a foam roller. I have my feelings on foam rollers. I just can, kind of just mention the fact that there's a lot of different types of foam rollers out there, and there is no one foam roller that's better than the other. Leave the digging up to the clinician. And what I say about foam rollers, I don't even go into the detail about it. It's really just a concept. Love your body rather than fearing the soft tissues that you out there who own foam rollers don't know even the name of. There's no reason, it's just no reason for you to dig in to something over and over and over and over and over again, expecting a different result, by the way, and it doesn't happen. And the same thing happens to people all the time. You go into the gym, you beat something up, it feels good temporarily, and then the next day you're doing the same thing. Like there was this pretty smart dude, his name was Einstein, right? And he came up with that quote, right? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is insanity. Yep. It's the definition of just not getting something. Like so love your body and the movements that we're teaching you. If you love your body enough, you're going to appreciate the fact that it might take some time to improve and get better and get stronger and get faster and get whatever, right? So, a lot of times we really just need to be patient. That's why they call our patients, right? And a lot of us don't think about going to the doctor, right? Like myself, as something that they want to do to get well. They or stay well, I should say. They think it's a pain management type of a thing. And I like to say, we're going to get you as far away from this pain as humanly possible. And it's going to start by going through some painful blocks, right? So you can't be fearful of those painful blocks, right? Like you created them yourself. What's there to be afraid of, right? You played basketball and last time you jumped, you blew a disc. Okay. So, right. So do you love basketball? Sure. You want to keep playing basketball? Absolutely. Right. I don't want to keep you off the field. I want you to learn certain stuff that you can do on your own in front of your computer all day long or throughout the day, right? That takes up to 10, 15 minutes a day, maybe throughout the day. Like, plenty of us brush our teeth for a minute or 2 minutes at a time, right? It's 4 to 5 minutes out of your day, yep. Right? If you do it twice a day, right? And spinal hygiene is simply misunderstood. Right? Like, knowing that we have a spine, how many people do you know with a scoliosis, right? Or with that don't know that the curve in their spine goes in the wrong direction, right? But those are the patients that come in here with chronic headaches. A lot of times you're going to deal with like straight necks or a curve that's going in the wrong direction. Okay. So these are the kinds of things to kind of follow up to on what we see. I'm elaborating off of foam rollers here, but leave the clinicians who understand what pain is and why you're dealing with it with certain things. If you have trigger points, the foam roller's going to go nowhere near as deep as my thumb or my Graston instruments in the room, or some tools that I have that I can use to dig out that soft tissue adhesion. Mm-hmm. And then you can maybe keep that up a little with your foam roller, but that's not going to fix the problem, and I think that we're just kind of beating ourselves up a little bit more than we need to.
Awesome, man. Good to know. It's great. So, should we get into some of these exercises? I know my back is sore here.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So let's start with just dropping down to your tummy. All right. So I'm going to let you just drop down your tummy, put one hand on top of the other like this. Put your forehead
logs here
on top of your hands.
All right.
That's going to leave a little room for your nose. Okay. Right behind your hands. Your nose has some freedom in there. And then you're really I'm going to show my belly here in the picture. You want to really let your belly rise and fall.
Okay.
And so now that your head's down on the ground, you should probably feel how the lower back is actually stretching kind of nicely when you do that. Mm-hmm. Feel that, Drew?
Yep.
Okay, you keep breathing. Sure. That's what everybody should be doing right now. I want you to put your tongue on the roof of your mouth. Breathe into your belly, deep into your belly. Okay? Deep, deep, deep into your belly, and just let the belly expand and contract like a balloon. Try to relax your shoulders over there. And if anything, if you need to, you can kind of reach those elbows out to the corner of the room. So you're going to try and flatten your posture a little bit more. All right, guys. So what you're going to do now, don't move your head yet. Okay? Okay. But I want you to look up to the sky. Okay? So you're just looking up without moving your head. And you'll feel those muscles in your eyes and your forehead. And now go ahead and lift up. Okay, so you just anticipated this movement here. And look up, look up, look up. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And you'll feel those muscles all the way down your spine working. And then come all the way back down to the ground. Okay? This is basically just a gentle head nod. You're just going to rest and reset for 2 or 3 breaths. And when you're ready, after those 2 or 3 breaths, you're going to go up again. Go, eyes up, track it all the way up to the sky. And then slowly back down. So you should feel those muscles all the way down your spine just working. And then you're just resetting that posture again. So on this next one, let's go all the way up to the sky. And then you're going to look left and right. Just looking over your shoulders a little bit. So now you're feeling the left side and the right side working a little bit harder, and we're just lifting with your head, right? So we're not pushing into the ground quite yet with the arms. You're just lifting with your head. So this is what baby state your name did for about 3-4 months, right? Before you could really crawl around, roll around, all that kind of stuff. Then we're going to progress. I'm going to work you through it pretty quickly here, but we're going to go up to the elbows like we were before. Okay. Now you're going to do some breathing and then move your head around a little more. Make sure you're following your eyes, okay? In the direction that your eyes are going, your head's going to go a little bit farther, okay? And then your body's going to follow that. Eyes lead the way, head follows that, body follows that, okay? That's how the brain and the body actually are connected and how they move, okay? So nice and easy. Then you can go over your shoulders a little bit. Big belly breaths, and as you go, your head can lead the way and your body and arms and things can follow that, okay? You should feel that if you look over the right shoulder, you'll feel the left side of your back with a nice little gentle stretch. Do not move into pain with any of this, Okay. Anybody that's listening out there, I do have an app that you can download. It's called Move Mentality. And in that app are all these movements with plenty of content and lots of information. Teaches you all about how not to move into pain and just to focus on your breathing. Goes through 18 movements that are super, super productive in a process. So we're trying to, hopefully this app will actually help people to walk through these movements over time, and then improve everything. I'm going to show you one more today. All right. And then you can start following. Maybe we'll do one more after that if you want to, but we're going to come up to your knees. Okay. So we're going to do two different ones. Rocking is basically what we're doing. We're basically going to be working our way up to here on all fours and rocking, but I want you to start here. You're going to do some head nods, a couple of them, breathing, relaxing your spine. Okay. So there's no curving, none of this. You're literally just letting everything just kind of hang out in there. And dogs love this, by the way. Every time you get on the ground, doggies are going to love you.
Yeah, he's definitely doing
So,
it.
and then you're just rocking back and forth, just like this, with the eyes up on the horizon as well as you can.
Okay.
And then you can look over one shoulder and keep rocking. And look over the other shoulder and keep rocking.
He's like, I do this normally.
What's that?
He's like, I do this normally. What are you doing?
Oh yeah. He's like, I do this all day.
Yeah, exactly.
Then bring your arms up here, eyes on the horizon again, and then you're rocking up and nice and easy. Okay. So this one's called rocking. It's a real simple movement. This is the first push-up that you ever did, right? So if you could do a couple hundred of these, they're really simple, but you're practicing and training all those push-up plank muscles, right? And then your core is turning on. And then here, this is just like a squat, right? So if you've got any restrictions in your squat, then these movements, this movement especially, you're just retraining that squatting pattern there, Drew, right? So it's really, really simple. The idea of the move mentality is to simplify your entire physically therapeutic life.
Nice.
Right? So, yeah, I mean, it's harder than it looks, right?
Yeah. It's
so,
definitely getting a little sore, honestly, like in the lower back and like that. But I think it's
but you will not feel that later on.
Right.
Like this is a soreness that, like, by dinner time, you're not gonna feel it anymore. In fact, you'll feel a lot better. You'll be walking and moving with a little bit better pattern, and your head will be up over your shoulders a little bit more. And within weeks, you don't feel that so much anymore. So it's very much like brushing your teeth or flossing your teeth. Let's actually just kind of mention like flossing, since it's a little bit more common, but we'll go back to a story I mention all the time with brushing your teeth. If you were the first person on the planet ever to brush your teeth with whatever toothbrush there was, your gums probably would bleed all over the place. Right? Same thing with flossing, right? If you haven't flossed in 6 months and you start flossing, your gums are going to release some inflammation, right? Yep. The same thing's happening right now, right? And inflammation is good. Excess inflammation can be painful, right? But inflammation, what is inflammation? Inflammation is blood flow. Like if blood's not good for the human body, okay, so it's supposed to be there, right? Like I feel this right now. I've been down here for a half hour with you, right? Yep. Like this is a little bit sore, right? There's some blood flowing around in there. It's taking up some space and it's trying to fix something, right? Yep. And if that keeps going and it gets worse and worse and worse, then that's a different ballgame, right? But that's for me to know and you to find out, right? So you kind of need to have that understanding that these types of things are, if you're dealing with something that is continually being stretched and it is not getting better, you're doing it all wrong, and that's just my humble opinion, my humble clinical opinion, but I do think that these types of movements help to allow something we call reflexive stability. Mm-hmm. And when you have reflexive or automatic stabilization and centration, right, of these joints, all these joints are nice and lined up, right? And they're not wobbling around all over the place. You're going to use less energy because your brain needs less energy from all those muscles to stabilize things, right? So you're training right now by getting sore and just being here statically dynamic, okay? There's it's just another opinion of mine. Nothing's really static, right? Everything's kind of in flow and moving. All right. So if you're sitting here in a very static, dynamic type of movement, like a very still type of position, and your body's got to learn from it, like take that lesson to heart and realize that you probably should be doing more of it, not less of it. Okay. Yep. Like if your gum started bleeding from flossing your teeth, but then you did not floss again for 6 more months, where's the logic there? I'm a very logical person. I think these kinds of things should be more common sense, but they're just a little bit unique.
Yeah, I hear you, man. So in terms of people doing these kind of things, I mean, they can do them on conference calls if they're not on the video or whatever. I mean,
hey, look, man. Look, hey, look. You can't see me anymore. I'm doing my resets.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I mean, you know, come on, people. Like, you know, now, like, so here's something that I used to tell people all the time. Like, okay, where you work, do you have a room, you know, door that you can close and do your stuff? You know, like, no, I work in a cubicle. Okay, guess what? Like, your cubicle now is on your couch. So you could definitely be doing this. And I'll show you one more. Let's actually sit up since we've been there for a little while. Okay. And we're going to pretend like we're sitting in a chair, right? But you can do this sitting down too. Okay. All you're going to do, this is called a cross crawl. We can do this lying down. You can do this walking. Okay. But I want you to take your right hand, tap your left knee. Foot comes up off the ground.
Okay.
Tap it, tap it, tap it. Now work on your posture. Head up, look on the horizon. Where's your tongue? Remember, on the roof of your mouth. Right? Getting any cramps in there yet? Anybody on the other line? Somebody's probably watching, getting a cramp in their hip if they're doing this. But this is simple. It's called a cross crawl. Just pause on the next one, Drew. Pause right there. Now you're making a connection from your right arm to your left leg. That means your brain is connecting and you're stabilizing. Sit up a little taller. Right? Look, you've got another couple inches of posture, right? Yep. Now look over your shoulders. Look left and right. Just keeping that there. Look left, look right. There you go. Right? So you're basically just engaging all sides of your brain, all parts of your brain, and you're keeping your body upright. And it's a very simple, very reflexive movement. If you walk, right, with a right arm and a left leg like you're supposed to, then this movement pattern can be enhanced by this. I don't know if you all know this, but degenerative diseases are often found in the gait pattern, the walking pattern, losing something. Okay, so if you walk, or you know somebody who walks without swaying their arms, there's probably something degenerating up there. Okay, and this is one of those ways that we can really slowly but surely control our movements and what's going on in the brain and how the body's functioning. You know, the brain's a really, really amazing, magical thing. The human body is a magical thing. And it's the only thing, I should kind of finish and leave with this because this is the stamp on the whole thing. Only thing that can heal the human body is the human body itself. And foods and healthy things that help the healing processes happen in the body. And that's from everything from the neuromotor connections to the immune system, to the metabolic systems. You know, this is like a strong opinion, but a vaccine, whatever it does, is not the cure. The cure is within the body responding to the vaccine, or to the whatever it is. Okay, so the complication right now we're dealing with in this country, in this world, is in not taking ownership of our own brains and our own bodies and realizing that we can only control what we can control. What's going on in the universe right now is crazy, and it's overarchingly stressing everybody out. If you think you don't have as much stress right now, you're full of shit. So, you know, talk about that all you want. Right now, everybody is blanketed with a totally different amount of stress than they've ever had in their life. And, you know, like there's a generalized amount of panic. So breathe. Like, what's the one thing that you can control, if you will? It's your breath. The one thing. The one thing that you will always fall back on is your breathing. And sympathetic nervous system, right? Sympathetic response is fight or flight. putting our tongue on the roof of the mouth brings us into, and relaxing and breathing and getting more oxygen and in a nice calming way, it brings us to a more parasympathetic or rest and digest type of a place. You know, a lot of low back pain patients have gut problems. A lot of, neck pain patients have, asthma, allergies, right? Like these kind of things are super well connected. Your whole entire nervous system is not just, communicating to one thing. It's all of it at the same time. The healing process is a constant thing, and so if we take that into account and understand that movement is also medically inducing your body to heal itself, we should be doing a lot more for ourselves right now. And it doesn't have to be a lot, it's a lot more in little bits and pieces.
That's awesome, man. Well, like you said, I don't want to take away from that point, so I think we should end there. But you said the app is out there. It's Move Mentality, right?
Yep.
It's in the App Store and the Google Play Store.
Yep.
And before you leave, do you mind if people reach out to you by email?
Yeah, no, not at all. My handles on Instagram are, like I mentioned, at Dr. Justin Klein and at @gotyourback_health. You can also find us on Facebook. Got Your Back Total Health is the name of the business. And the Got Your Back Foundation, gybfoundation.org. If you want to learn about that or donate, we'd really love to hear from you. If you have any questions, if you want to volunteer for some programs. But the app, and you're more than welcome to write me, gotyourbackdoc@gmail.com about it. If you have any questions, the app is called Move Mentality. It's a mashup between movement and mentality, and it's meant to improve both. So
awesome,
that's what it's all about.
I'll put all that stuff in the description below so people have it.
Awesome.
To get to.
Yeah, great.
And thank Dr. Justin Klein. Thank you so much for taking time with us today.
My pleasure.
And, we'll have people reach out to you. Thanks a lot, man.
Thanks for having me. All right, have a beautiful day, everybody. Enjoy your weekend. I'll talk to you soon.
Well, that was a conversation with Dr. Justin Klein, chiropractor and owner of Got Your Back and the Got Your Back Foundation. If you have questions for Justin, please feel free to reach out to him. I'll put his contact information below, also his app information, and a link to his website. If questions or comments from me, please feel free to leave them below. Also, hit the like button if you like the video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell so you get notified of any future videos that come out. We're going to be doing a lot of these interviews, and we hope you guys will enjoy this one, and hope you enjoy the next ones we do. Thanks a lot, and take care. See you guys soon. Bye-bye.